Hey guys, this is EJ Holland with the Wolverine.com, and we're back with another episode of the Michigan Recruiting Report here exclusively on our YouTube channel. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel for free, and also subscribe to the Wolverine.com for just $1 for 1 month or 50% off your annual membership. Today, we're going to be breaking down 5 remaining targets in the 2024 recruiting class. National Signing Day is just 2 weeks away, and the Wolverines are looking to add to a class that is currently ranked number 16 in the country. So we're going to be talking about 5 targets still on the board right now. And the list starts off with top 100 wide receiver Gatlin Bear out of Burley, Idaho. Gatlin just made an unofficial visit to Michigan for the game, backed out of his verbal pledge to Boise State a week later. The Wolverines are trending on the On3 recruiting prediction machine with an 81.5% chance of landing him. A lot of positive signs pointing towards Michigan. Bear is from Idaho, which is the same state that produced star Michigan tight end Colston Loveland. Loveland's head coach or former head coach at the high school level is Cameron Anderson, and Anderson is now the head coach at Burley. So Anderson's been serving as a bit of a guide for the Bear family during this recruiting process, and I think that connection helped. Bear's also a mission kid, which means he'll be gone for 2 years serving the Mormon faith. Obviously, Michigan had success recruiting Andrew Gentry and landing him last year. So Gentry was actually involved on Bear's visit on Sunday after the game, and that connection can only help as well. Another thing that's a positive for Michigan is Bear wants to be a strength coach, a personal trainer after college, and Ben Herbert is arguably the best strength coach in the country. His dad, Gatlin's dad, Brad, is currently the strength coach at Burley, so he's been able to connect well with Ben Herbert as well. Now, obviously, Michigan's offense isn't super fun for wide receivers, but Ron Bellamy has done a fantastic job of combating negative recruiting and showing how Bear can be a difference maker. And he really can be. I mean, this is a guy with Olympic level speed, runs a 10.2, I believe, maybe even in the 10.1s, 100 meter. He is faster than last year's Olympic hopeful Nicholas Harbaugh. So, I mean, he has game-changing speed on the outside and can be an immediate impact player once he returns from his mission. Now, the thing about Bear is he would count towards the 2024 rankings, but he wouldn't enroll until 2026, and he wouldn't count towards the scholarship numbers. So technically a 2026 recruit with the mission. Let's go ahead and move on to another wide receiver who would count towards 2024 numbers, and that is top 100 Georgia commit Nitro Tuggle. Michigan has been trying to get him on campus. He was originally going to make an official visit for the game against Ohio State. That didn't happen because Tuggle was playing in the state championship. There's only 2 weekends left before signing day. As it stands right now, Tuggle has not scheduled an official visit to Michigan. He is a teammate of Michigan commit Josiah Edmond, who is coming to Ann Arbor next weekend for his own OV. Maybe the Wolverines can convince him to join Edmond. But as things stand right now, it looks like Georgia is in a really good spot to keep him, which is, a little worrisome because Michigan only has 2 commits right now at the wide receiver spot. It's Marion Stewart and Channing Goodwin. Both of those guys are more slot type prospects. Michigan really needs a bigger outside receiver to come in and make an impact in that room. Tuggle would be that guy. Michigan probably has the best chance to flip him away from Georgia, but again, it's a little bit of an uphill battle right now. I would give Michigan probably a 20 to 30% chance of flipping him. So not, hope hasn't been lost, but again, a really tough flip. Let's go ahead and go over to the defensive side of the ball and talk about a different flip candidate. David Polyp, 3-star defensive lineman out of Pennsylvania, who is currently committed to USC. Now, for those of you that follow recruiting closely, you know that Poly was considered a Michigan lean early in the process. In fact, it looked like Poly was a silent commit and was going to pull the trigger right after his official visit. However, he ended up taking an OV to USC and committed shortly thereafter. He did grow up in Alaska, has a lot of family along the West Coast, including California. USC was his childhood dream school. He committed there. However, the Trojans parted ways with defensive coordinator Alex Grinch, and USC just hasn't done a good job of developing defensive players, and its defense has been pretty trash. Michigan obviously does a great job of developing guys on both sides of the ball. They have one of the best defenses in the country. The defensive line has been fantastic with guys like Chris Jenkins, Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, and that's certainly appealing to David Polyp. He got back in contact himself. He initiated the contact in November. The Wolverines have been working hard on him behind the scenes. I put in a flip prediction over the weekend, and I feel really confident in the Wolverines sealing the deal before National Signing Day. Poly told me that he wants to make a decision on sticking with USC or flipping to Michigan at some point in the next week. So, could be soon. But again, I really like my prediction for the Wolverines. Next up on the list is another defensive prospect, and that is Lugard Edepayi. On 300 Edge, added the DMV. I had a chance to go out and visit with Lugard a couple of weeks ago. Really intriguing prospect here. 6'7", 215 pounds, kind of built like a basketball player. Has the length, has the athleticism, really high upside, but still very raw as a prospect. Didn't notch his first Power 5 offer until October. His recruitment is completely wide open, and you see the On3 recruiting prediction machine has Navy at the top. I don't think that Navy's really a factor here. He does like schools like Rutgers and Minnesota, but I think the three that have moved up the list are Texas A&M, Florida State, and Michigan. Michigan made an in-home visit with him this week. They are set to have him on campus for a midweek official visit on December the 12th. Florida State will get his final official visit. Texas A&M has already hosted him. I think that Dylan Roney, Michigan's pass rushing specialist, has done a fantastic job here. Mike Elston, Jesse Minter made an impact on his in-home visit. It's all going to come down to this, next week. Will he, enjoy that visit to Florida State? Will he enjoy that visit to Michigan? We'll see. I think that this race is too close to call right now, and we won't really know more until after the OV, but he is a massive target considering that Michigan only has 2 edge commits left in Dominic Nichols and Devin Baxter. You saw Elias Rudolph leave the class. You saw Jacob Smith leave the class. So they really need to add another edge. And last on the list is top 100 safety Zack Patterson, currently committed to Miami. Michigan was supposed to get him on campus for an OV for the game against Ohio State. That didn't happen. So I think chances have completely gone down with Patterson. Michigan did want to add a safety this cycle. It does not look like it's going to happen. I think Florida State is probably in a better position to flip him from Miami right now. So Michigan really falling behind with Zack Patterson late in the cycle. I would expect him to stay closer to home, especially with him not making the OV for the game. So, I think the 4 guys we talked about in front of Patterson are definitely more likely. Patterson's probably the least likely guy on this list. For more Michigan recruiting coverage, head over to thewolverine.com, sign up for $1 for 1 year, and also like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for free.